Welcome to the next video in my tree identifying series. This video will look at the spruces. Of the 40 species of spruces worldwide, 5 are native to Canada. 2 are introduced spruces are also common, and they are the Norway spruce and blue spruce. Spruces are often confused with firs, but looking at the needles helps distinguish between them. The needles of the fir are flat and usually come off the twig opposite each other. The spruce needles are more rounded and can cover the twigs. The white spruce, or Picea glauca, averages 80 feet in height with 2-foot diameters, though under ideal conditions can reach 120 feet with 4-foot diameters. We had one at our cottage that reached a height of 100 feet with a diameter of 3 feet. When I first discovered it, it had dead branches almost 20 feet up, which I cut, leaving about 15 inches so I could climb up the tree. Shortly thereafter, my dad and I built a small cabin near it. Since it was almost at the highest point of our land, climbing it to almost the top provided incredible views all around. One day, though, I came there and the tree had fallen directly onto my path. Had it fallen the other way, my cabin would have been flattened. The white spruce is found right across Canada, including into the 3 territories. The needles are 4-sided, stiff, and about 3/4 inches long. They are green to bluish green. The cones are 2 inches long and cylindrical. They open in autumn and fall in winter or the following spring. The bark is thin and scaly. The wood is light and soft, but ideal for lumber and pulp. The Engelmann spruce, or Picea engelmanni, reaches heights of 100 to 120 feet and grows in the mountainous regions between 3,000 and 6,000 feet. It has diameters from 1 to 3 feet. It is found in the southeastern BC and southwestern part of the Rockies. The needles are 3/4 inches long and usually curve upwards. They are bluish green. The cones are 1 to 3 inches long and open in autumn and drop in winter or early spring. The bark is thin and broken into large, loose scales. The wood is light and soft and has the same uses as the white spruce. The Sitka spruce, or Picea sitchensis, is the largest of the spruces and commonly reaches heights of 125 to 175 feet and diameters between 3 to 6 feet. But trees reaching 280 feet and 13-foot diameters have also been reported. They are exclusive to British Columbia and are a coastal species. The needles are broad and about 1 inch long and 4-sided. They are yellowish green. The cones are 2 1/4 to 4 inches long, opening in the fall and dropping in the winter. The bark is thin and broken into large reddish-brown scales. The wood is light and soft and is mostly used for lumber and plywood, but is also used for sounding boards and musical instruments. The red spruce, or Picea rubens, reaches heights of 70 to 80 feet and diameters of 1 to 2 feet. It is almost exclusive to the Maritimes, but can be found in the extreme south of Quebec. It reproduces naturally and can seed 40,000 seedlings to the acre. The proper spacing is only 1,200 per acre. The needles are 1/2 inch to 3/4 inches long, 4-sided and curved. They are bright yellowish green and shiny. The cones are narrow, egg-shaped, and 1.5 to 2 inches long. The cones open in autumn but can stay on the tree even to the next autumn. The bark is thin and scaly, light reddish brown. The wood is soft and light and is used for lumber or pulpwood. The black spruce, or Picea mariana, is a smaller spruce and slow-growing. It reaches heights from 30 to 50 feet, though in ideal conditions can grow to 100 feet. It can tolerate wet conditions, but its growth is severely stunted, and a 10-foot black spruce can be hundreds of years old. I once counted, using a microscope, 300 rings to an inch. That means that the tree was at least 300 years old and only 2.5 inches across. The black spruce is another tree found right across Canada. The needles are straight and ½ inch long. They also are four-sided, bluish-green, and stiff. The cones are egg-shaped and about 1 inch long. They are purplish to dark brown. The cones do not shed and open periodically to release new seeds. Some seeds stay within the cone for years. The bark is scaly and dark grayish and thin. The wood is mostly valued for pulp, but the larger ones are cut into lumber. It is moderately soft and relatively strong. The Norway spruce, or Picea abies, is one of the introduced trees and is most commonly found in parks or as ornamentals. It has the same characteristics as the white spruce. The needles are 3/4 inch long and yellowish green. The most recognizable feature of the Norway spruce is that the needles hang down from the branches, kind of draping down. The Norway spruce has the largest cones of the spruces and ranges from 4 to 7 inches long. The bark is scaly and reddish-gray. It is generally used in parks and therefore not often used for any other purpose. The blue spruce, or Picea pungens, is another introduced species fairly common across Canada and also used as an ornamental. The needles are bluish, which gives the tree its name. The needles are 3/4 inch to 1 inch long and are slightly curved. The cones are 3 inches long. The bark is scaly and brownish-gray. It is mostly used as an ornamental and no other commercial use. Some use it as Christmas trees, but generally spruces lose their needles quicker than the more desirable firs. This brings us to the end of the spruces. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can join me for the next video, which will look at the yews. See you then.